I'm Richard Roeper. Coming up next, there's a lot of buzz about Jake Gyllenhaal's work in Nightcrawler. Is the hype justified? My review right now. Jake Gyllenhaal's sociopathic nocturnal news hound Louis Bloom in Nightcrawler reminded me a little bit of Robert De Niro's Rupert Pupkin in The King of Comedy, only Louis might be even creepier and scarier. Just as Rupert was obsessed with becoming a late-night TV comic, Louis is obsessed with entering the inner sanctum of a local news organization in Los Angeles.
I'm Lou Bloom. I have some footage for sale.
Who do you work for?
At the moment, I work for myself.
What do you have?
Something I'm fairly certain you'll be very excited about.
It really is fine work from Gyllenhaal in a film that veers from dark satire to tense crime thriller before the tires kind of come off near the end, leaving the entire vehicle just short of recommendation. Louis is a small-time thief and full-time oddball who happens by a crash on an LA freeway. He's transfixed as the reigning king of TV freelancers, Joe Loader, played by Bill Paxton, gets the gruesome footage and then rushes off to the next crime scene.
Morning news, if it bleeds, it leads.
Are you currently hiring?
Within days, Louis has purchased a cheap video camera and a rudimentary police scanner. Now he's on the job.
The name of my company is Video Production News, a professional news gathering service. That's how it should be read and that's how it should be said. I also want to go to the next rung and meet your team, and the station manager and the director and the anchors, and start developing my own personal relationships. I'd like to start meeting them this morning. You'll take me around, you'll introduce me as the owner and president of Video Production News and remind them of some of my many other stories.
Nightcrawler is written and directed by Dan Gilroy. He gets some of this stuff just right. We see a lot of the carnage through the lens of Louis, and the resultant news footage looks much like the real video we see on the local news day in and night out. But the film stumbles with some of the newsroom material, especially involving Rene Russo's Nina Romina, a former news anchor, now a nightside news director. At first, Nina comes across as a variation on Faye Dunaway's character in Network, but she's so blatantly unethical and so oblivious to Louis's insanity, she becomes a caricature.
The best and clearest way that I can phrase it to you, Lou, to capture the spirit of what we air, is think of our newscast as a screaming woman running down the street with her throat cut.
I understand.
This is one of those films that really left me on the fence. Gyllenhaal is very good here, though by playing a disturbed loner, he's not exactly trafficking in new dramatic territory for him. And the climactic action sequence in Nightcrawler is expertly staged, some really fine filmmaking. But I didn't really buy the ending, and there were just too many broad jabs at the TV news business that felt dated and simply inaccurate. My final verdict on Nightcrawler is a C+. I'm Richard Roeper. Get all my reviews at richardroeper.com and at reels.com.